My name is Claire Matthews and I'm the manager here at Macduff Marine Aquarium. Our aquarium sits on the shores of the Moray Firth, which is Scotland's largest bay, and our exhibits showcase all the amazing marine life that is supported here. We tend to focus our exhibits on the marine life under the water, but the Moray Firth is internationally important for marine birds too. In fact, just along the coast from the aquarium is Troup Head, dramatic cliffs which every summer become crowded with seabirds and is the only colony of gannets on the Scottish mainland. Today I'd like to tell you about this amazing seabird city and introduce you to some of the residents. In the summer months, we set up a camera at Troup Head which beams live images back from the cliffs to a monitor here at the aquarium. From this we can watch the real-time coming and goings from the cliff and immerse ourselves in the drama that is the breeding season in a busy seabird colony. Troup Head is a section of hard metamorphic rock that is over 600 million years old and juts out into the outer Moray Firth. The cliffs are over 50 metres high and offer the perfect breeding spot for thousands of seabirds that compete for space on the sheer ledges. Seabirds are brilliantly adapted to living out at sea. They feed on fish, squid, crustaceans, and have many adaptations for diving and keeping warm in the chilly climate. Oil secretions on their feathers, for example, provide excellent waterproofing, and webbed feet make for great paddles. But like all birds, they reproduce by laying eggs, and for this they must return to the land. Cliffs are ideal nesting sites, as they are close to the fishing grounds, yet difficult to access by land predators. As a des res, Troup Head attracts an estimated 38,000 seabirds each summer. The 4-kilometre site is famous for the gannets, of course, but fulmars, kittiwakes, guillemots, razorbills, shags, herring gulls, and even a few puffins all nest here too. Troup Head season begins early in the spring when the gannets are first to arrive. They will have spent winter fishing out at sea, or many make a huge migration to the warmer waters off the northwest African coast, and back again. Gannets are Europe's biggest seabird, weighing in at around 3 kilos and with a wingspan of 2 metres. They are definitely the bosses at Troup. A few intrepid gannet couples from the Firth of Forth started the colony at Troup Head in the late 1980s. Today, there are over 4,000 pairs of gannets, and the colony is expanding. Gannets tend to occupy the highest ledges on the cliff, with the best takeoff opportunities for getting airborne. Gannets pair for life, so the first job on arriving back to the cliff is to find the same spot they occupied in the last season and then reconnect with each other. Courting behaviour often includes bill fencing and bowing. The male will rebuild the nest with seaweed and grasses and even debris that he finds from the sea. And then come April, the female will lay a single egg. The gannets get a bit of a head start on the season at Troup Head, but the cliffs get busier as other seabird species arrive. Guillemots are the most numerous species at Troup, nesting in amongst the gannets in dense numbers. They pack tightly together on the cliff ledge, and each couple has a tiny nest area on the cliff. The female will lay her egg on the bare rock. Guillemot eggs are pear-shaped, the most pointed of all bird eggs, and this stops them from rolling off the cliff ledge. Kittiwakes are another summer resident at Troup and are Britain's smallest seafaring gulls. They are rarely seen near land except at remote breeding sites. When fishing, they are elegant surface feeders and pick out shoaling fish from the top layers of the ocean. At breeding time, both adults will build a nest together from mud and vegetation, and by late May, they lay a clutch of 2 eggs. Occupying the lower ledges of Troup's cliff face, razorbills are relatives of guillemots. They are all in the same family, the auks. They have a similar shape and small wings that beat rapidly to fly, making their flight seem manic, but they are superb for swimming. Guillemots and razorbills dive to great depths underwater, over 100 metres or more, chasing down sand eels, which are their favourite food. In amongst all of these birds are also fulmars, who are small members of the albatross family. They are often seen soaring on uprising air thermals at the edge of the cliff on very stiff wings. These birds have a useful trick for deterring any intruders to their nest. They can spit foul-smelling stomach oil at anyone that comes too near. This is how they got their name, which literally translates to foul bird. At the base of the rocks in the splash zone, we see lots of long-necked birds that are dark, almost metallic green in colour. These are shags. Like their cormorant cousins, shags go after mussels and crustaceans in the shallower waters, but they are not waterproof as they don't produce oil for their feathers. This makes them more efficient divers as it reduces their buoyancy underwater. It does mean, however, they have to spend time standing about holding their wings out to dry as they get waterlogged. Shags lay up to 6 eggs in a nest made from vegetation. Now, we can't talk about a Scottish seabird colony without mentioning everybody's favourite, the puffin. Also in the auk family, this comical bird is easily recognised by its brightly coloured beak and orange feet. We don't actually see many puffins at Troup Head and rarely spot them on our camera. Puffins nest in burrows, and these are in short supply on the rocky headland. There are puffin nesting sites near to Troup, and puffins may be seen bobbing in the water in large rafts together as they all arrive back after wintering at sea. Like their relatives, they are excellent divers and catch sand eels. They're famous for carrying up to 12 sand eels crossways in their beak at a time. Puffin parents raise a single chick in their dark burrow. They never actually see the puffling in the daylight. As the summer wears on, by mid-June, all the seabird species have youngsters to care for. The cliffs are frenetic, with parents coming and going to feed their growing offspring. For the gannet parents, the white and fluffy chick soon becomes a demanding monster, and space on the nest gets very tight. Tempers flare between neighbours, and gannets can get really aggressive with each other. We see some epic fights on our camera. July sees the guillemot chicks leaving the safety of the cliffs. Encouraged by the male parent, the chicks take a flying leap from the cliff into the water and then paddle like mad to get out to the feeding grounds. They can't fly for about 3 months, so for the first few weeks, Dad stays with them, and then after that, they're on their own. Pressure on the cliff eases by late August, when all but the gannets have raised their chicks and left the nest. Juvenile gannets with brown plumage grow to the size of an adult and are ready to fledge as the summer days shorten. They take their first flights from the nest, but after landing on the water, initially they are too heavy to manage to take off again. Unable to feed, it takes a few days for the puppy fat to be lost before they are able to lift into the air. Gannets feed by plunge diving from heights of up to 12 metres or more, and their streamlined bodies help them get under the water for several metres to chase fish. Their bodies are supremely adapted for this hunting method. They have a reinforced skull and an articulated neck to enable them to withstand the entry impact when diving at 60 miles an hour. We often see the juvenile gannets practicing their fishing techniques from the aquarium car park at this time of year. By the end of September, it's all over, and the cliffs are bare of birds. They're all back doing what they do best out at sea. In the case of the gannets, some of them are heading back out on their 5,000-mile journey to the North African Atlantic coast. We've seen the number of gannets increasing year on year at Troup Head, helped by having a wide diet of different species of fish and their habit of following fishing boats. On the other hand, kittiwakes and puffins, and those species that are more reliant on just sand eels for food, they seem to be under pressure. We humans, along with climate change and the distribution of plankton at the base of the food chain, have a large impact on the populations of these fish, and in turn affect the birds. But Troup Head has been described by Sir David Attenborough as a world-class wildlife hotspot, and it is designated a special protected area. It is an RSPB reserve, and you can visit there on foot. There's a path along the cliff edge, but you do need a head for heights. It's worth the walk though, and there's nothing like sitting on the cliff ledge with the Moray Firth stretching in front of you and only metres away from nesting gannets. The sights, sounds and smells of this seabird city are something else, and we are so lucky to have this fabulous place on our doorstep. Here at the aquarium, we look forward to March every year, when we can once again set up our gannet cam and enjoy the incredible seabird spectacle.